April Braswell served as a VPPR for Fullerton-based All Nations Toastmasters in District 100. She coordinated 2 in-person YLPs in Orange during the pandemic. April is a member of Orange BNI, Business Networking International, the founder president of the Newport Beach chapter of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, which meets the 3rd Tuesday of every month, and a product specialist for doTERRA Certified Essential Oil Wellness. April.
Thank you so much, Elaine. The most important things for us as club officers, and particularly as VPPRs, and you can take a screenshot of this. I believe the slides will be sent out to each of you afterwards. And that's something where you can text me later if you don't get them. Please feel free to take screenshots. We are first to promote the club to the local community, maintain our club's social media profiles and the club website, as well as to distribute marketing materials, things like our flyers for our events and our weekly meeting, to create club publicity campaigns, safeguard the Toastmasters brand, remain current with Toastmaster International and Founders District, the social media channels, as well as regularly to read the monthly magazine and our leader letter. If you're brand new as a VPPR, you may not yet have signed up for the leader letter at Founders District at our website. It's foundersdistrict.org. It's a wonderful resource to sign up for. This is one definitely to take a screenshot for. Our short list of what we want to be updating, and I would say almost immediately when you are handed your scepter as VPPR, is we are to be updating on our Facebook page. The events is number 1, posts periodically, and I would almost put Meetup as number 1 over Facebook, as that's a wonderful way that we attract people who have not yet been to Toastmasters or who want to return. Meetup is a wonderful resource. Our club website, Eventbrite, another free resource. Meetup is paid. Our club newsletter on MailChimp, because it's a free resource. LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc., on the platforms which are relevant for your club's TIP. And TIP stands for our target ideal prospect. I'm going to do a quick example. If you're a gaming club, your thing may not be as important that it's over at LinkedIn, but it may be wanting to have things over at Twitch. You want to be aware of the people who you want to attract and where your members are. Those are the platforms that you want to make sure to have a presence at and to be updating. Our responsibilities include the external communications, internal communication as a club management, and those basic things of honoring our members. When Elaine completes her first DTM, we want to have a graphic that celebrates her. Those basics as a club, most of all our website. So when people see that, they know that we're active and we're engaged with our members. We want to be promoting the club, notifying local media. We still use that phrase. It's really, think of it, it's a wonderful attainment to be aiming for, and then even to get the LA Times or the Orange County Register to say something about our club. It's awesome. However, we want to be focusing on local media in terms of reaching people who would be coming to visit our club. So when we say local media, that can still include my personal timeline and that of each of our members, that they would be posting something, encouraging them. So we say develop social media presence. That's for our club. It's also to encourage our individual members to post periodically, to do a selfie. Hi, I'm going to be Toastmaster of the day for the first time Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Please come support me. Maintain an active social media This is one that it really helps to have the events and to go through and post that at the beginning of your term. Here it is, January. We're already January 8th. We are already a week into it. You may not have done it yet. When you do, I recommend go out and create the events all the way through about July 15th, so that you get that little overlap to the next Toastmaster year for the next person. And it's kind of passive there for you. So if you don't manage to get a post in every week, you're covered. You already have that. Distribute marketing materials. Now, this is something that we do, and yet we want to empower our members to use them. I'm imperfect with it. It's one that I have like some specific details I can share with you later at the end, is do use the Toastmaster resource of the coming to a meeting flyer. They don't know that it's not a special event. Every meeting is a special event. Have those, create one where it's kind of generic and you can give it to any new member to carry with them and to share, and then help them to actually share that. You can distribute that in a number of different ways. I do recommend that after you distribute it once, return to the members and see how they're doing. We want to create publicity campaigns, certainly maintain the Toastmaster brand, and publish our meeting information, most importantly, often because we're having a different Zoom link. Make sure that Zoom link is up to date if ever it changes, and initiate potentially a club newsletter. Publicity campaigns can be special events. Don't worry that you haven't managed one maybe in your very first month as your VPPR. However, when something special like your club anniversary, or we just achieved distinguished, anything that is a special event for your club, that can be a publicity campaign. And we have a small training, particularly for creating press releases to announce that and to start to develop that habit. We want to make sure to ensure our website accuracy, maintain our web content, safeguard, I feel like it's over the heart, safeguard our Toastmaster brand, and use TI branded resources. It's kind of funny to say this because we're all in Zooms, and I have to say the camera I used to have on my phone was not the best. So I would be taking a photograph in the Zoom and it's like, sorry, it wasn't the best image. You think you want us to be posting an image of us in the Zoom? Well, not from my camera. Having the resources from the Toastmaster website, they don't know that that's not us until they get there. Those are still representative of every club. It's a wonderful thing to use the Toastmaster branded portal and all those images because they were professionally taken, and those indeed are Toastmaster members. So we're still being authentic. Back up other officers. We are the VPPR. We are not necessarily the first two who are voting members at the district election, but there are roles that our president usually takes, or maybe the VPM takes, or the VPE takes, and they're not present today. We are always to be each other's backup as officers. Use Club Central for managing our club business. In particular, because we don't have access to the base camp as VPPRs, we, however, can help every interested visitor join our club. We can take their payment. Get comfortable doing that. We want to connect and be using and referencing the Toastmaster magazine, reading our newsletter, and following the social media, staying current on our various Toastmaster programs, our different incentives each quarter around the inviting new members. We have the Smedley, we have Talk Up Toastmaster. Each of those, we want to be aware of it and then promoting it in our club. And as you are excellently doing today, attend officer training. One of the things about connecting with our social media and noticing the Toastmaster magazine and things like the Toastmaster website, the Toastmaster channel at YouTube, we can use that material at our website that when someone new comes there, it gives them a greater experience of what to expect in Toastmasters. And when we change that up periodically too, they see we're lively and vital. And I'm just going to give you a little hint. Shh, Google loves it. So when they're searching for a Toastmaster in their area, Toastmasters Club in their area, your website might show up a little bit better because it's current and has been engaged and interesting and has things like a video or an article that's authoritative. Now, you might not really have thought of this yet with serving as a VPPR. This develops us. We develop transferable skills. We are enhancing, refining, and furthering our business acumen. That makes us more desirable and better employees. It helps all of us with maybe I'm going to start a side hustle, or maybe I'm a new entrepreneur. It's an interesting time and I have started my own business. All of these are useful. Organizational development and the business process. You will learn that absolutely over the course of the year as a Toastmaster VPPR. And our professional development of working together with the members and our fellow officers. And then in our area, and there are groups that we're at Facebook for all Toastmasters VPPRs, where we get to network and share best practices with each other as VPPRs. Now, part of our professional development is outside of our club, we have executive level strategies. We are building and creating networking relationships, both personally and professionally. We are certainly learning about project organization. When you want to put on an open house, it sounds like you just create a flyer and magically they're going to come. Well, the reality is, Elaine's laughing there because she saw me do it last year, was it really is when it's a group and they thing for the whole club to grow their individual leadership too, is it's actually a 90 to 120 day process. Problem solving. We will all be learning problem solving and practicing it in this wonderful volunteer environment over the course of your term. Now, this is a wonderful tool. You can always take this as a screenshot. You can put this into Google Docs. Is aimed to create an over the course of your term communication plan. What are your goals? What's a message for a way to communicate that? Why are you doing this message? Think of a number of different ways to reach different audiences. This is one where I like to coordinate with the VPE who's in charge of the meeting agenda. Hey, our anniversary is coming up in May. We want to have a special event. We coordinate that with the VPE. This is part of our communication plan. We have something, I'm going to make up the dates. There are special events that go on. Military Appreciation Month is also in May, and so is Healthcare Appreciation Month. Is that relevant in a special way for your club? That's a particular plan you want to make to communicate that within your club and then externally to maybe special invite the Legion of Honor folks in your area, or maybe another organization. You'll know for your club particularly. As you develop this plan, exactly this, create a timeline. It's not just as this magically happens. Other people who don't do this may think that. We know it does not magically happen just overnight. How frequently do you expect to be in contact with our audience? How do we want to evaluate our effort? What communication channels do we want to use? We still want to use in person. We're able to do that a little bit more now, and depending on your area, you may or may not be able to do that as easily. You might be doing it more in Instagram for your group, and another might be using LinkedIn. Each is absolutely pertinent. Be aware of it for what is best for your club and your audience. Our website. I can't see, so please text me later and just sort of let me know. of who is using the Toastmasters, the Toast Host or Easy Speak, who's already using that for your club. A few of you I can see a raised hand, so if you can physically raise your hand if you're using that. Thanks, Bob. Is keep it current. If you don't have that for your club yet, it is something that's a little more of a training. Please do text me and we will help you find those resources to get that going. I have some corporate clubs who I support as an area director. They're not allowed to have that, but they're allowed to have something over at LinkedIn. So you can use your LinkedIn or your Facebook page to be almost like that. Make sure to keep the Zoom registration. It's usually a registration link that we're using these days. Keep it current. If you can, keep it the same one for a 6-month time frame. It's just cleaner and easier than you don't have to remember, oh, I need to go out there and change that on March 1st. See if you can keep it the same. Add the theme of your meeting. You may not always manage to do that beforehand, but communicate it afterwards. There's a website, and I know, Elaine, you have it. If you pop it in the chat, pixabay.com has free images you can use, so you don't have to worry about paying. And if you didn't manage to do it beforehand, you can do it afterwards. Use those sort of images and give something of a recap. We talk about celebrating and recognizing our members. We like to recognize them on the homepage of our website in some way. There are some different ways to do that. We can show some examples to you later. Just think in terms of you want to be doing that. Aim to provide a digital member welcome package directly on the website, or maybe it's going to be in the files or something like that at your LinkedIn page or your Facebook page. This is the whole thing with free Toast Host. If you don't have it, there is a way you can take a screenshot here at the bottom that it's toastmastersclub.org/welcome/. If you don't already have one yet, sometimes it existed in the past and you need to reset who has the login credentials. There's a little bit of a process to do that. We can provide more details at the end. Our club website, this is a fun example because it's such wonderful, terrific hyperbole. We have the EMC Irvine Toastmasters Backtalkers. They've got a photograph of the club. This is when people can be in person where they manage to photograph. It's the actual members. It's timely, or at least at the time it was. They're mentioning a few things that are specific for the club. It's there at their homepage. The ha thing there on the right it's a little bit of a messy Zoom image. We've all had that. We've all taken them. That is not the image to go post at your club's website. It's better to use a branded one or an old group photograph than it is to have something like this it's truly messy. You want to be accessible, authentic, in a polished manner. Leverage our branded portal. Elaine is more adept at this than I in terms of understanding the colors and getting them perfectly. There's a wonderful, I've downloaded all the photographs. I love the photographs. They're terrific. And it looks like they're models. They are actually Toastmaster members who all dress wonderfully in business casual and look polished. We have so many resources. If you're wondering if it already exists, it probably does. We are just aiming to customize it slightly for our club, not completely reinvent the wheel every week. Proper logo usage. This is extremely important. It's showing images where we're often citing things with our district. It's the complete globe. It shows Toastmaster International, cites things like since 1924. These are the proper images. Now prepare to gasp at the improper logo images. Do not slant it. We all want to get creative, and sometimes it's just happened when we've done something with resizing it and it made it glitched, it moved it. Don't stretch it. Don't change the proportions. Don't change the colors. Don't change the background colors. We like to get creative sometimes. It's fun. And, you know, the first time you make a flyer, no one's going to be flying in from Denver, Colorado, probably not Denver, from Colorado, from world headquarters saying, you made a mistake. We're just going to say, if someone catches it, we'll just correct you and let you know. We're all volunteers. Aim to be doing proper logo usage so that when you do create something that has a larger exposure in Toastmasters, it's already proper and good. So we want to be having a coordinated image going out to the world. Our color palette, it is not lime green. It is not bright sunshine yellow. It is happy yellow is the accent color. We are true maroon. We are loyal blue. And this cool gray are our primary colors. I will tell you, and it's got the numbers there at the bottom. If you don't have it later, let me know and we will share that to you. Those are the precise numbers to put in if you know what those are. If you don't understand them, don't worry about them. We can explain it to you later. Just be aware of them. In a similar way, if you've gotten a true maroon that's awfully close, no one's going to know until a little bit later, you'll learn. Incorrect branding. Well, so there's that middle one, I feel like is a great example. It looks good, and we're thinking like it's enlarged and that would kind of be cool. The Toastmaster logo is so large, it's actually partially cut off. The Toastmaster image for the power of words it's actually made it to where the word Toastmaster International isn't legible. Because maybe we cut and pasted from somewhere else and it wasn't really quite proper. It's illegible. Those matter. Now, these are ones that are almost correct. And yeah, they really look kind of cool. And similarly, it's kind of okay if it's maybe your first one for your club, but when you're doing something that's going out to the world and maybe it's for the area or something like that, we need to know beforehand not to be doing that. That first one, it's that the Toastmaster emblem of the world is actually incorrect. We don't want to be showing that image where it's cut off. And the second one is similar that way, with the logo and the colors are so close, but not actually it. Doesn't matter at the local level, to like when you're giving it to your neighbor. But as we grow, we want to make sure we got the right colors and are using the logo correctly. This is the example of proper branding. It's clear, it is legible, everything can be read. The Toastmaster logo is there, the words are there, Region 11, all of that's accurate as our color usage, that our primary, the gray is being used before we were using the yellow. More examples. Be aware of, definitely take a screenshot for our Founders District social media. Where you can, because we're the VPPRs, follow all of these. You may not access every single one all the time. Go ahead and follow each of them because it gives you something you can simply repost. You can borrow it, and then be sure to add the Founders District email to our safe senders list so that we receive the weekly newsletter for those details on our ongoing events like this, as well as our trainings and special events that we have coming from Founders District. They roughly happen monthly, I'm going to say, but sometimes it's more than once a month, especially as we go into our speech competitions. And there are so many wonderful events we can be inviting people to. This is the Toastmasters International social media. Also take a screenshot and follow them. I really do love the YouTube channel for Toastmasters for going in and finding videos that I can reuse and repurpose both this content in our social media and at our club website. And I try to change it up periodically. I say I mean, it's now we, the royal we. We try to vary that kind of depending on maybe some things are going on in the world, or whether it's something that's going on with leading up to the speech contest, that I might start featuring world placers or folks who actually won the world speech competition to attract visitors to our club. These are wonderful resources. I'm going to let you know I am an absolute fan of Let the World Know. It is something, I can't remember, it's like 60 pages. It's long. It is a full resource. Almost every couple of pages can be another full hour training to go into each of them, like creating your press release. It's a fantastic resource. Download it, page through it. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize everything the first month. When you want some ideas, it's terrific as a tool. Sample news releases, those press releases, they give you templates, they give examples. You can just tweak it and make them your own. Our logos, developing a calendar, photo contests. We still get these. We didn't quite have as many during the Zoom time, but your club, when you get together, take some fun photographs together. There have been some fun meeting themes, like when they were doing superheroes for the day, and one club, everyone dressed up as a superhero, and they took an in-person club photograph and submitted it. They got pictured and placed in the magazine and at the website. It's fun. And that kind of recognition is part of what both attracts new members and helps us to retain and grow our existing members. I'm going to stop the screen share and just share one more detail that's quite important, because it isn't always expressed. As new VPPRs, and to remind our seasoned VPPRs, experienced VPPRs, it is normal that there's 8% attrition rate. This is one of the reasons why we want to be sure to grow and attract visitors and new members regularly. Quite often clubs kind of leave it to the VPPRs to do that. They're thinking, oh, we're having an open house. April, we'll put it up over at Meetup, and that will get everyone there. Elaine's laughing. It's actually each member's responsibility. It's something that we need to remember and to be sharing at the executive meetings, that it's every officer's certainly role to be inviting and thinking about ways to promote the club personally, as well as what we are tasked to do as the VPPR. We are actually a 40-minute training versus a 50-minute training. Please, does anyone, especially the new VPPRs, do you have any burning questions for me that I can either address now immediately, or can at least start on directing you to a resource or helping you later? Does anyone have a burning question that I can assist with, please?